Jeshua, the pure consciousness of the soul, dear friends. I am Jeshua. I am with you. You are not alone. You, as bearers of a new consciousness on earth, are engaged in a birth process. You are bringing a new consciousness into the earth's collective energetic field of the world. To do this, you first have to dive into the collective consciousness, as it is. Imagine diving from the sky into a deep ocean and, through this immersion, being introduced to the underwater energies. This, of course, is an image where you can substitute the word subconscious for underwater. It's not easy living underwater. In your youth, you discover that you can't breathe well and freely in this atmosphere on Earth, this collective field of beliefs and fears. So you feel a bit like you're suffocating, but you still have just enough breath to survive, even though it's not easy. Growing up, most of you, sooner or later, will experience that something is wrong with this world. And for quite a while, you might think that the something wrong is you. However, there comes a time when the pain and anxiety become so strong that you truly start to look for solutions. You meet people, or find books, or discover situations that shed light on the situation. You recognize something that feels familiar, something that gives you a feeling of coming home. You can't find a rational reason for that feeling. It's intuitive, and it doesn't come from your earthly self, your personality, but from your soul. So, if you recognize something that makes you feel at home, another person, a book, a movie, or music, then your soul is actually being awakened by what you encounter, and you will want to move towards that direction. As soon as you feel called by your soul in your life, changes will come. It's like swimming underwater, when you're almost out of breath and, suddenly, you see a point of light on the water's surface. Slowly you swim towards it, which creates a certain inner tension. To swim towards the light, to emerge from the water and breathe again, you first have to say goodbye to many old certainties and illusions. The road to the air, the breath, and the light isn't a given. Although you feel anxious and want to go towards the light, at the same time there's an attachment that holds you down because you've become part of the collective consciousness. Down is where all your loved ones and acquaintances live, with the habits you've all built together. So it takes a lot of courage for your earthly personality to swim upwards. However, the soul is ready for this. It wants to return to what it considers home. It wants to return to its natural state of being. The earthly personality, though, struggles against this because it is afraid. You feel this conflict inside you. One part of you is ready to embody the new awareness, what your soul wants to bring and yearns to be. Your soul is ready to do so at any moment. Yet, you also have an earthly personality that is shaped by the past, by your youth and your need to be accepted, first by your parents and then by peers, authorities, employers. So there is a personality within you that is at odds with your soul. Now connect with the pure consciousness of the soul within you, with that part of you that recognizes truth and is not influenced by fear, limiting beliefs, and negative imprints like, this isn't possible, this shouldn't be, no, I'm too small, too insignificant to be that one. Go to that part of you that is not totally influenced by this, that is separate from it. That is your most powerful part, the part that perceives most clearly. I ask you to be willing to connect with that part, to say yes, and then see what happens next. Notice if you feel something in your body or your energy field that draws your attention. Is there a spot or a place there where you feel connected with your soul? You might imagine that there is a guide or a higher figure with you who represents your soul. Encourage yourself to perceive a guide, an angel or a teacher behind you, or beside you who represents the intent of your soul. Observe what that person, form, or angel wants to tell you or give you. This guide, your soul, sees beyond what you can, so trust it. It sees wider and vaster than your earthly eyes can see and your earthly mind can imagine. Ask it what the best thing to do is right now. Ask it for advice and trust what you receive. It might only be a word, a thought, or an image. Simply trust your soul. It takes your needs into account and doesn't ask too much of you. Your soul wants to give you joy and desires for you to be more relaxed and at ease with life. It wants you to let go of the gravity of the world, so that you can move more on the waves of a new energy, lighter and freer, the energy of a new era. Then, I ask you to connect with the part of you that has the most difficulty letting go of the old. This is in opposition to the new. It seems like a contradiction, because you'd say that everything in you desires to receive more happiness, more freedom, more success or love. If you feel restricted at the bottom of the sea, then everything in you wants to go to the surface, towards the light where you can breathe. At least that's what you would expect. And yet it's not like that. You can imagine it this way. There are parts of you that have had to survive at the bottom of the sea for so long that they have developed survival strategies to feel safe there. When you surface, and you swim, breathe, and see the sun, you are very free and powerful. But for that closed-off part of you, the scared part that feels open, vulnerable, and defenseless, it's an almost impossible thing. It has become accustomed to being closed off because it is very frightened by the collective field of ideas and energies of this world. Connect now with that part of you that is afraid. Just as you connected with the lighter, freer part of you, with your soul, now see if you can feel in which part of your body the most frightened and closed-off part resides. That's the part that thinks, I have to adapt, I have to stay small, I have to be careful, I don't trust anything, I'm not capable of changing anything. You can imagine seeing a box in front of you, a cardboard box, for instance, or something similar. That confined part of you has gotten used to having to survive in that box. Imagine that you are a light figure sitting next to that box and, very gently, you place your hands on it, and your hands radiate love, safety, and a warm light. Feel that, whatever is in that box, you welcome it because you are not afraid of your own fear. You say to the box, you are welcome. Please, show yourself. And the box opens and something or someone comes out. Something or someone that has suffered, that has been lonely and that has been deprived of oxygen and freedom. You don't have to see it exactly. You can just feel or experience its energy. That is enough. And, most importantly, you don't have to do anything about it. The decisive act here is being present with your frightened part, simply allowing it to be there. Just say, you are a part of me, I accept you. That is all that is asked of you to integrate the light and the dark parts that are in you. You don't have to fight the dark or frightened part, and you don't have to improve it, change it, or even heal it. You just have to accept it. Imagine receiving it in your lap and embracing it. Feel how this part of you has suffered. It wants to be acknowledged, accepted, embraced, and supported. This is how you relax. When this embrace happens, you rest. You accept yourself more, and you prefer to act for yourself. And yet, at the same time, you are also transforming something for the entire earth, because in that part of you that is afraid lies the old collective field of humanity. By embracing that frightened part with your loving arms, you release a part of the collective field on earth, and this has an effect on the whole, even though you don't need to know exactly what that effect is. Finally, imagine standing barefoot on the earth, wherever you are. Feel that the earth moves along with the new, that it wants to support it and contribute to changing consciousness. The earth wants to dance with you towards a new time. Feel supported by her. Thank you so much for your attention. Embracing your feminine energy, reconnecting with the heart of the universe. Deep within every human soul lies a profound force, which is feminine energy. But what exactly is it? To grasp its essence, we must first reflect on our true nature as beings born from love, the ultimate source of all existence. Love is our origin, the boundless energy that weaves the fabric of the cosmos. Yet, in a world filled with suffering, injustice, and violence, this truth can feel elusive. How can love be the foundation when chaos seems to reign? The answer lies in understanding the dual nature of love, which mirrors the duality we experience in life, our inner and outer worlds. This duality splits love into two complementary aspects. The masculine side embodies self-love and self-respect, a fierce guardianship of our inner being. It gives us the strength to stand tall, honor our worth, and navigate the world with confidence. Conversely, feminine energy is the radiant love that extends outward, fostering deep connections with others, nature, animals, and the universe itself. It is the gentle force that binds us to the divine core, reminding us that we are not isolated islands, but threads in a great tapestry. Throughout history, and even today, society has conditioned us to identify exclusively with one aspect based on gender. Boys are taught to embody the masculine, girls the feminine, creating a profound imbalance with far-reaching consequences. For men, repressing feminine energy severs ties with the world around them. They lose empathy for others, harmony with nature, and intuition, the inner compass that guides from the heart. Isolated and adrift, they see the universe as hostile, demanding constant defense, strength, and conquest. This disconnection makes them vulnerable to external authorities, transforming free spirits into obedient soldiers or workers supporting rigid systems. Authorities have long exploited this repression, knowing that without feminine energy, men lose their inner authority and become easier to control. Women, meanwhile, face the mirror image of this distortion. By disconnecting from masculine energy, they erode their self-respect and inner strength. They remain trapped in a cycle of endless giving, convinced their value lies in self-sacrifice. Insecurity breeds passivity, silencing their voices and clouding their natural role as connectors and healers. Without the masculine anchor, they deeply doubt themselves, yielding to obedience and losing the power to inspire change. This collective imbalance explains much of our world's turmoil. Men, driven by fear and separation, seek to dominate and conquer, blindly following external powers like dictators. Women, weakened by insecurity, retreat into passivity, unable to assert their healing influence. The result: a society fractured by violence, exploitation, and disconnection from our common source. But there is hope, a path towards healing and transformation. The solution begins with embracing the wholeness of love. For men, this means reclaiming feminine energy by tuning into intuition, opening the heart to the inner light of others, and marveling at the beauty of nature. It's a shift from struggling to creating, from isolation to art. Imagine a man who listens to his inner guidance, acts in harmony with the universe, and discovers miracles in everyday wonders. He becomes a visionary, a creator who builds rather than destroys. For women, the key is to reconnect with masculine energy, cultivate self-love to stand firm, and wield their feminine power with confidence. This awakens a deep healing force, restitching humanity's bonds with nature, the universe, and the divine. Strong women lead us back to the authority of intuition, dissolving violence and boundaries, fostering unity in diversity. When we, as a species, embrace feminine energy alongside the masculine, we awaken to unity. Imagine a breathtaking landscape: trees, rivers, mountains, clouds, each unique, without commas, and yet perfectly interconnected as one living entity. This is the miracle of the universe, individuality thriving in unity. It challenges rigid logic, inviting us to perceive its beauty rather than dissect it. By honoring both energies, we enter a new era of awareness. We see the world in the light of wonder, recognizing our unique place in the cosmic dance. Conflicts fade, peace blooms, and humanity finally thrives in harmony. Embrace your feminine energy today. Reconnect, heal, and illuminate the path toward a unified world. The universe awaits your awakening. Mother Mary, the cup of love, I am old, very old, and I am the mother of many children. All my children are very important to me, and I desire that you all receive all of my love. Love is an energy that comes from the universe and flows through the earth and all who inhabit it. There are various factors in life that make it harder to perceive this energy, like stress, negative thoughts, and an unhealthy lifestyle. But there is more love than this love that comes from the universe. Yes, and this too is a miracle. All those ancient souls who have lived many lives on earth, as humans, animals, and plants, when they are complete and have gathered all the knowledge of love, are no longer born on earth, because all those lessons have been learned and the circle is complete. But because these old souls now live in heaven, they continue their work of love. And the work of love is a collaboration between all those souls who send love to earth and to all who inhabit it. So there is so much love that I can tell you, dear child. Living on earth is often very difficult, not easy at all. And it is also heartbreaking to know that it is an opportunity to learn love. Love is the only thing you can take back to heaven when that time comes. And the most important thing is that death does not exist. Yes, the body will not live forever, but your spirit lives on. And your soul is eternal. Every step you take is important when you live on earth. And when you return to heaven after your life, you can send love to all the places you have been. So, the place where you live now is such a place because every inch of the earth is already covered with love, if you allow it. Love is. Love is a choice. Love is a vibrating energy, even multiple energies. If you allow love to come to you, you will feel it. It is a personal choice to walk the path of love with loving souls, like Jesus and God, Buddha and others. It is a personal choice to say no to violence of any kind. If someone shouts, "Now is war," you can answer, "Now is peace, because I choose it." And I hold a cup, and it is full of love. And the more I give and share my love, the more it keeps filling up. You too hold a cup of love in your hand. And the more you share, the more you will receive. The less you share, and soon your cup will be dry. Love is magical, because it is so good. Love is an immense gift, and it multiplies when you give and share. Love is a direction. Love is a path to walk, not just the final destination. Love is here and now, and you can start sharing your cup of love right now. I love you. Mother Mary standing firm in divine light and love. Yesterday, I had one of those incredible and majestic moments when I was on top of a mountain with a view of the crystal pyramids on either side of me. I was surrounded by Mother Nature, natural forests, shrubs, earth, sky, and waters, in total unity with all that is. I was shown once again how the new earth is fully present and how many lightworkers are now and are ascending into the new fifth and seventh dimensional existence. Then I was shown how the gap between the old earth and the new one is widening, between those who still choose fear, separation, division, war, etc. It does not mean believing in doomsday prophecies, but rather understanding that those who are in the third dimension, by their free choice, cannot access the fifth, seventh, and higher dimensions. It is impossible, as their state of awareness and divine consciousness is simply too dense, too slow, and too low. Truly, you are now what you choose to be, because you are choosing your future, here and now, and many of us chose the highest long before, some even before birth. Yes, we did, and we all knew there would be times when we could fall asleep, but at the same time we agreed that we would always wake up along the way. And so many souls are awakening now. Shortly after that experience, I met two souls who had just awakened and, for the first time, realized that earth and sky were more than could be seen. In the conversations that followed, I immediately noticed the beauty of the soul before me, who shared its immense love for natural forests and trees. I lovingly reminded her of what it was and what it actually was, and why she had been drawn, since childhood, to that specific place, just as her parents and grandparents had been before her, even though they had never lived there. I could see how her inner soul lit up, and then she began to share with me how the classic Afrikaans novel by Deleen Matthee, Cringe and Die Boss, Circles in the Forest, about this area, the elephants and the woodcutters, reminded her, when she read it, of the interconnectedness and sacredness of trees and forests. So, I spoke to her about the guardians and the keepers and reminded her to call upon them and ask permission to enter their sacred dwellings, and her face lit up even more. Yes, she had once met Deleen Matthee, and in the author's subsequent talk, she had mentioned the guardians and keepers and thanked me for reminding her. The conversation now involved more souls, and a deep and intense conversation followed, in which even her initially defensive companion opened up. Now the conversation was heart to heart, soul to soul, and once the barriers were dissolved, we all found sacredness, not only in the circle, but fully embracing the new earth, and far beyond earth, as I reminded them that the earth was sacred and holy, and had a soul of its own. No one can claim possession of any part of it, nor divide its pieces or claim ownership, because truly, it is divine. Only when we honor the sacredness of Mother Earth and the living beings within and upon her, can we live in unity harmony, and peace. Sacredness and holiness originate within us. For how can you truly honor sacredness outside yourself when it is absent within you? As we were leaving, she came up to my car window and, with a radiant expression, told me she had recently discovered she was related to Delene Mathie and that she would keep her legacy alive. My heart sang. When I returned home, finally at sunset, my soul was in that state of boundlessness, and with it I had an immense vision of how the entire southern hemisphere would be and will be in the new earth. I had tears of gratitude streaming down my cheeks. It was as if billions of Earth years, since the Earth was created, had now transformed into a completely new life and existence. Here I find no words. Please, do not allow your soul to be dragged into the swamp, into all the mud, into the man-made traumas of the old Earth. What they are fighting for no longer exists. Rather, keep your attention, your focus and your intent on unity and harmony, which must first be created within you, as well as peace. Let your heart overflow with love and gratitude, because a deep rift is now occurring between the old and the new, and each soul's free choice now determines the final outcome. Let old things fall where they may. Welcome the new with open arms, be diligent, disciplined, and continue to do the inner cleansing work. Clear your energy fields and keep your heart open, no matter what. Let us keep the ascension line steady as we co-create and anchor in the new era of love and unity. We are all one. We always have been. All else is illusion. The 12 decreators. Relax, help is on the way. We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a collective of non-physical 12th dimensional living beings, and we are here to help you. We adore humanity, especially when we see you struggling with something in your lives. We know that you contribute enormously to the expansion of this universe, and we thank you for your contribution and your efforts. We also invite you to explore the feeling of relaxation a little bit more, especially when you find yourself in the midst of one of your difficult experiences. We invite you to remember that you have already created what you desire, that it is already on its way, and that you have many more helpers than you can possibly imagine working day and night to bring about what you have said you want. We love to help. And the same is true for all the other beings and collectives of consciousness in the non-physical. Therefore, you can rest assured that there are many more helpers than there are physical beings in need of help, because the non-physical contains more than the physical contains. We know that doesn't make any sense, because what could the non-physical possibly contain? You have to go beyond the mind to understand it. We all seek to be helpful because of where we live and the level of consciousness that we possess. When you can relax into these truths, you can receive much more easily and more quickly than you can with your tireless efforts. Remember that this is the time of the divine feminine. This is the feminine cycle of the universe that we all live in. And therefore, you can expect more by doing less. You can open up and receive, knowing that you will receive what you desire, and not just something random. You can be certain that you have done enough to justify your existence, and it is time for you to benefit from all that has been done, from all that has been asked for, from all that has been presented to you in this very life you are in right now. You might also spend some of your precious time believing in yourselves as the conscious creator beings that you are. The more time you spend focusing on your true divine nature as beings of unconditional love, the less you will have to struggle. And the more you relax and let go, the more you let in, the more you align with that reality you want to experience and with the version of you that exists in that reality, which is relaxed. Know that everything will be okay because it always is. If you can convince your minds of this, then you can immediately release from your bodies all that blocked energy, and you can live in harmony with Mother Earth, among yourselves and with all of our wonderful universe. We are here to help you do all of this and so much more, and there will be so much more to create together when you acknowledge all the help that you have. We are the creators, and we love you very much.